The teasers dropped, a fandom went silent. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down. He's done with SM. The real reason? Winwin QI. After 10 years, welcome to Starscope K Report.
Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
We are so incredibly hyped to have you with us today for this deep dive. Look, you know how fast the K-pop industry moves.
Right, absolutely, at light speed.
Exactly. But every once in a while, a headline drops that forces the entire community to just stop, sit down, and stare at their screens.
The kind of news that just paralyzes your timeline.
Yeah, and that is exactly our mission today. We are looking at the official agency statements from SM Entertainment, a very personal Instagram letter from the artist himself, and a massive, just brutally honest Reddit/K-pop thread.
Oh, that thread is intense.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we're using all of this to unpack the headline that literally broke the internet. Chinese artist Sicheng, who is universally known as Winwin, has officially concluded his exclusive contract with SM Entertainment, effective today, July 9, 2026.
I mean, it is truly the end of an era, but more importantly, it signals a massive industry shift. We are looking at a fundamental change in how power and leverage operate in K-pop right now.
Yeah, that concept of leverage is going to be our guiding light today. So let me lay out the facts for you first. On July 8, SM Entertainment dropped a statement on Weverse confirming the mutual termination of Winwin's 10-year contract.
10 whole years.
It's
Just crazy to think about.
Right. To give you the timeline, Winwin debuted with NCT 127 back in 2016. He moved over to the Chinese subunit WayV in 2019, but he has actually been on a music hiatus since 2021.
Yeah, he hasn't been active in the group for a long time.
So looking at SM's incredibly polite corporate statement where they say they are, quote, deeply grateful to Winwin for his decade of service, it reads to me like a standard, highly sanitized PR breakup.
Oh, total PR speak.
Like, think about SM's mega group concept, NCT, like a Silicon Valley tech platform. The agency built this massive, complex system, assuming the individual members were just, interchangeable cogs in a larger machine.
Right, the whole limitless expansion thing.
Exactly. But if he's been inactive in the K-pop scene since 2021, is this departure really a massive loss for NCT, or is it just a formality?
Well, from a purely operational standpoint, I mean, the agency might treat it as a formality because the group has technically functioned without him for years. But from a fandom and cultural perspective,
Yeah.
this is a seismic event. The reaction is what makes this so fascinating. Usually, when an idol leaves a group, especially an original lineup member of a mega project like NCT, there's a global outpouring of tears.
Oh, totally. People are devastated. Netizens mourn the loss of the original dynamic.
Right. But right now, international fans and K-nets are actively rejoicing.
They are throwing a massive digital parade. It's wild to witness in real time.
It really is. I was reading through the fan reactions across platforms, and the prevailing sentiment is pure relief. In that Reddit thread we pulled, users are directly quoting each other, referring to his time at SM as being trapped in a hellhole.
Wow, a hellhole.
Yeah. They are explicitly stating that Winwin was mistreated, excluded, ignored, and sabotaged for a decade. The underlying psychology of hardcore fandoms is crucial here.
How so?
Well, when your bias is perceived to be treated poorly by the company, them leaving isn't a tragedy, it's a hard-won victory.
It's the ultimate liberation. And what strikes me is the contrast between the fandom's scorched earth reaction and Winwin's own graceful exit,
Oh, his Instagram post.
Yeah, he posted a letter on his personal Instagram reflecting on his debut, thanking SM for the opportunity and thanking the fans. He called the last 10 years a precious chapter.
Very classy.
Right. He knows he doesn't need to burn bridges publicly because the fans are already doing all the demolition work on his behalf.
Precisely. The fans hold the historical memory of everything he went through, and they are using this moment to validate a decade of frustration.
And that's not even the wildest part of this departure. Wait till you hear what netizens uncovered about his actual treatment during his 127 days. If you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope K Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
So to understand that intense fandom frustration, we really have to look closely at the underlying strategy K-pop agencies use when debuting foreign idols, specifically during those early NCT 127 days.
Let's dig into the receipts from that r/K-pop thread. So back in NCT 127, Winwin's official positions were listed as sub-rapper, lead dancer and sub-vocalist.
Yep, those were the titles.
But the fans point out a stark reality. He had basically 0 rap lines.
Like, none at all.
Right, those almost exclusively went to Mark and Taeyoung.
Yeah.
And when he did get vocal lines, like in the track chain, his vocals were so heavily layered with the other members' voices that his unique tone was completely erased.
He was just buried in the mix.
It's exactly. For 3 whole years, fans argue they barely heard his raw voice.
Which, this brings us to a major aha moment regarding the K-pop industry's business model. Why do agencies historically marginalize non-Korean members in line distribution?
I mean, it's a great question.
It's a risk mitigation strategy. Agencies recruit foreign idols to capture massive international markets, like, in Winwin's case, the highly lucrative Chinese market.
Right, they want that global reach.
Exactly. But they intentionally limit their core musical involvement in the group's domestic Korean hits. The fear is that if the foreign idol eventually leaves to pursue solo opportunities back home, the group's signature sound won't be disrupted.
But wait, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, doesn't it?
Yep.
By sidelining them to protect the group, they alienate the idol, which gives them every reason to leave.
Bingo.
But I want to push back a little on the idea that he was entirely hidden. What about his dancing? He was famously known for his incredible acrobatics.
Oh, for sure. The flips.
Yeah, look at the choreography for Fire Truck. He was doing these insane flips, floating bird moves, aerial cartwheels.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the undeniable visual center during those stunts? Why do fans feel he was underutilized when he was literally flying over the other members?
See, that acrobatics argument is exactly what enrages the fans the most.
Really? Why?
Because, yes, he was front and center for the stunts, but they felt he was treated like a show horse. The agency capitalized on his elite traditional Chinese dance background to generate shock value and viral moments for Fire Truck.
I see.
But they never let him evolve past that gimmick. He was brought to the front of the stage to do a backflip and then immediately pushed to the back formation for the rest of the song.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if you've ever been hired at a company for a highly specialized skill, say, coding a brilliant back-end architecture, but then you are never allowed to speak in the actual product meetings, you know exactly how Winwin's fans feel.
That is a perfect analogy.
He was locked in a highly specific box.
Yeah.
And the sociolinguistic isolation makes it so much worse, doesn't it?
The isolation was palpable. In reality content, like the first season of NCT Life, netizens meticulously documented how little he spoke. The language barrier was immense, resulting in constant translation lags.
Yeah, you could see him struggling to jump into the banter.
Right, and the only memorable phrase he managed to get out consistently was asking for ice cream. He endured intense affection from older members like Yuta and Taeil, but he lacked the verbal tools to express himself fully in return. He was reduced to the quiet, smiling, cute foreign member trope.
That deep isolation is exactly what makes the next phase of his career so crucial. Because when the WayV Renaissance hits in 2019, he finally gains the leverage to break out of that box.
The shift was monumental. WayV was specifically designed for the Chinese market, which meant the entire linguistic and cultural environment flipped overnight.
A total 180.
Exactly. Suddenly, there is no massive vocal layering. Fans are hearing the raw Winwin voice without auto-tune. It might not have been the dominant powerhouse vocal of the group, but as one Reddit user pointed out, the sheer fact that his voice was present and distinguishable was a revelation.
And the power dynamic in the room changed completely. WayV is this beautifully chaotic, multilingual environment. You have members casually switching between Mandarin, Cantonese, Korean, English, Thai, and German.
Just endless languages flowing constantly.
Yeah, there was no designated primary language that he had to struggle to catch up with. Ten was teaching him English, he was teaching the others regional Chinese dialects. The language barrier evaporated, and his actual vibrant personality finally came through.
And we have to talk about how that freedom translated to his movement, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Fans meticulously track dance practice metrics. In WayV, they point to the moonwalk and takeoff routines where he finally got to showcase his classical grace and posture rather than just raw stunts.
The center time discrepancy is staggering, by the way. In WayV's comeback, he is commanding the center stage.
Yes.
Compare that to his time in Boss with NCTU, where fans literally pulled out stopwatches and calculated he had the center for exactly 0.5 seconds.
That is criminal.
Half a second. But the ultimate proof that he was more than a stuntman was his contemporary dance with 10 of the Billie Eilish song Lovely.
Oh, that performance is legendary.
It really showed a mature, breathtakingly artistic side of him.
And that artistic growth provided the foundation for his ultimate pivot. He didn't just want more lines, he wanted complete creative and professional control.
Which brings us to the massive financial and leverage gap between the Korean idol market and the Chinese acting market. In 2021, Winwin takes a hiatus from K-pop group activities, heads back to China, and sets up his own personal studio.
Beijing Zaoyao Culture Media Studio.
Right. Let's talk about the economics of this. When you are one of 9, or in NCT's case, one of over 20 members, your payout from a comeback or an album is a fraction of a fraction after the agency takes its cut.
It's tiny.
But as a leading man in the Chinese drama market, the scale of capital is entirely different.
It's astronomical in comparison. He transitioned from fighting for seconds of screen time to debuting in the romantic drama Sweet Games and rapidly stacking up leading credits in Snowfall, Perfect Match, 25 Hours of Love, and the movie Blades of the Guardians.
So many projects.
Yeah, he moved from being an employee of a massive agency to being the CEO of his own brand.
Later in the episode, we'll talk about the shocking plot twist involving other original NCT members that nobody saw coming. Because this 10-year contract curse is shaking the entire industry.
We really need to look at the macro level here, because Winwin's departure is not an isolated incident. We are currently witnessing the great 2026 SM contract renewal bloodbath.
Yes, let's get into the timeline. Listeners are probably familiar with the infamous 7-year curse in K-pop, where standard contracts expire and groups disband.
Right, the dreaded 7-year mark.
But SM Entertainment famously utilized extensions for overseas activities and military service, often pushing these initial commitments to a grueling 10 years. 2026 is the exact intersection where a massive generation of debut idols have simultaneously acquired enough personal capital, global fandom, and industry savvy to shatter the traditional agency monopoly.
That is the perfect way to frame it. The agency thought they were using the idols to build the platform, but the idols used the platform to build their own global audiences.
Exactly.
The leverage has completely flipped. Winwin is out. Lucas has officially departed. But the one that genuinely sent shockwaves through the entire industry this past April was Mark Lee.
I don't think anyone saw that coming. Mark Lee, the ultimate company man, the guy who was foundational to almost every unit SM produced.
I mean, my jaw was on the floor. We all remember the Mark Yuck era, Mark and Sicheng juggling NCT 127, NCT Dream, NCTU, Super M.
Bullet content.
The man was famously, relentlessly overworked. For someone that deeply embedded in the NCT brand to say, no, I'm leaving to start my own independent entertainment label, it shatters the illusion that these mega agencies are the only path to success for top-tier idols.
Right. And just when you think the traditional K-pop contract is entirely dead, we get the final twist of the 2026 exodus, which is 10.
Oh, this one is fascinating.
Yeah. 10 also left his exclusive solo contract with SM to establish his own agency, LMT. But here's the critical difference. Unlike Winwin and Mark, 10 negotiated a hybrid contract to stay in NCT and WayV strictly for group activities.
Which introduces an entirely new business model to the Hallyu Wave. Historically, agencies demanded all or nothing, right?
It was completely binary.
Exactly. Now, non-Korean idols are realizing their immense solo power and marketability in their home countries. Winwin is co-managing his projects with Yukai Entertainment. 10 is running his solo career through LMT, but still gets to participate in the group's global tours.
It's brilliant.
Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update. Trust me, with the way these contracts are ending and being renegotiated, the K-pop landscape is going to look completely different by next year.
It's a total paradigm shift. And it really leaves us with an incredible question to ponder. As we watch the original pillars of these massive concept groups designed around the idea of limitless expansion, establish their own personal studios across Asia, are we witnessing the death of the traditional mega group era?
That is the big question.
Right. When individual idols realize they have the leverage to build their own empires from the ground up, will agencies be forced to completely rewrite how they structure K-pop contracts in the future, maybe offering partnerships rather than ownership?
That is the multi-million-dollar question that every entertainment executive in Seoul is losing sleep over right now. The power dynamic has permanently shifted, and there is just no going back.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu Wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.